What's going on, man? My name's the guy from Silencer, and today I'm talking about a new EP from one of the greatest bands of all time in black metal, Mons Veneris. That's right, Mons Veneris, those motherfuckers from Portugal, the OGs who go all the way back to the days way before Instagram was the hub of like underground black metal. And this shit that I'm talking about, Mons Veneris, this is so far underground that the underground considers this underground, and it's my favorite shit. It's some of my favorite shit, of course, released once again by Signal Rex, who always has our backs when it comes to the underground Portuguese black circle shit, which I guess is no longer a thing, even though everybody's still releasing records. Maybe they don't go out for fucking breakfast at Denny's anymore. But Mons Veneris and Vitala, to me, are a two-headed serpent of cult black metal motherfuckers, and I love everything they release. And I've been going with this band and with Vitala because I don't know. I'm not trying to blow anybody's spot here, but a dude in both bands has an eyeball painted on his forehead and looks real similar, but I'm not trying to blow anybody's spot, right? Anyway, this band, Mons Veneris, has been going for a long time, and I'm really surprised that I was able to go on Spotify and listen to this new EP, which is called Torches of Entrancement, because for the longest time, both these motherfuckers and the dudes in Vitala, the Kings, have been really anti putting their shit out there, so much so that when you open their cassette tapes, it just says, fuck off, no contact. That's cult as fuck, man. That's why this is one of the greatest bands of all time. And another reason why this band is one of the greatest bands of all time is because somehow they missed the fucking hype train. If you go on fucking eBay or Discogs right now, you can get everything this band ever fucking released. And we're talking like, I don't know, 50 releases for under like $300 or something, because cassette's $10. A fucking LP, $20, give me $10, whatever, you can have it. Meanwhile, assholes are paying $100 for a red vinyl variant of Stormkeep. Fuck Stormkeep. This is Mons Veneris. This is the real shit. This is the crazy shit. These guys and Vitala, and I know I keep mentioning the two together because they're really like intertwined in so many ways. It used to be for me that Mons Veneris were the dudes that you go to if you want the kind of I don't even want to say avant-garde. That's fucking disgusting. When you're talking about Mons Veneris, there's nothing artsy or avant-garde about it. It's pure fucking vile insanity. And that's why this band is amazing. But I used to go to these guys, I'm going to use the word anyway, when I wanted avant-garde fucking raw black metal, right? Because they do weird shit. My favorite release by Mons Veneris is called My Dark Perpetual Winter, and it's got a standard Mons Veneris song which sounds like a little something like a and then clang 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 and a bunch of fucking shrieks, right? The other track is like the most lo-fi version of a weird electronic sort of something that I've ever heard, and I could listen to that record until I die. Over and over until I die. I love this band. They bring something weird and different. And this is also the kind of band that you want to talk about like challenging black metal. It's challenging as fuck. And this EP, which by the way was on my best of the year EPs. They released other shit this year too, and it was all fucking good, all on Signal Rex, Hail to the Kings. But this shit is my favorite because this is the epitome of this band, Mons Veneris, all the way down to the fucking, like, you got two torches on this record. I told you it's called Torches of Entrancement, right? So you have a torch to poison the vile nest of light, song 1, I think I got that title right. And song 2 is entranced with murky rats and dead flies. And this band is incredible. So the first song that you get on this, man, is, like I said, you're stereotypical, and there's nothing stereotypical about the Kings, fucking Mons Veneris. But for Mons Veneris, it's normal Mons Veneris stuff. It all sounds like shit. Someone's clanging on a fucking, maybe a drum, maybe a can, maybe a fucking who knows what. And then you get these signature Mons Veneris vocals, which are the super high shrill shrieks, the kind of like, ah! sighs that, comes from fucking the greats like Silencer. And a cacophony of other weird noises. And I don't know if they brought their homeboys in. I don't know if they called up Black Solis and they were like, yo, why don't you come make some noise on this shit, because we're getting fucking Mons Veneris up in here. Or maybe they called up some of these other old Black Circle bands, or maybe it's just the two guys. I don't know, man. But I swear to God on this first track, and I love this first track, because you've got, it is like I said, you listen to a lot of Mons Veneris like I do, and you'll notice that there's a very kind of fucking sound to just about everything they do, right? It's no different. But I swear to God, they're doing these like incredible, like synchronized shrieks. And and I've heard other people say this, the good people on the Terminus Extreme Metal podcast, hail to them. The best, if you want to go listen to some people who are smart in their brains talk about black metal and you're tired of this shit, go to listen to Terminus. They'll talk about this shit for 5 hours, right? But anyway, they even mentioned that, like, and it's true, on this record, you're listening and you're going, there's no fucking way they wrote this. Like, this is not a song that has been written, right? This is like two dudes jerking each other off, cutting themselves with razor blades and banging something out. But there's always been, and there always will be, something about both Mons Veneris. There's been something about Vitala, my favorite bands. You're going to hear me talk about these bands all the fucking time. That in the back of your mind, you're going, part of me thinks this whole thing was written and planned out. Even when you dig to the utmost depths of the weird shit that these bands put out, you're like, I think part of it was planned out. So I don't know where the ratio is, right? But their shrieks and their screams and their vocals on this managed to somehow fucking coalesce into some sort of coherent thing that they're both doing together. Now, you could say they recorded the music and then went back and recorded the vocals. I don't think this band fucking operates like that. These guys are real motherfuckers. These guys are the fucking OGs. These guys are the fucking standing out in the backyard with the fucking eyeball painted on your head and a chain belt. They're not worried about that. This is part of their ritual. And you can see some fucking cool Mons Veneris footage, some old shit, where it's like Mons Veneris live. There's no fucking music. It's fucking dude holding a goblet, drinking a cup, fucking holding a skull. Now, recently they played some live and it looked a little bit more musical, but these guys I don't think are sitting down going, let's do another track, let's layer a track. I don't think this happened on this record. I don't think there was a second take on this record. I do think some of this was planned out, but I don't think they bothered with a second take. They went, that's what it is. The ritual is complete, motherfucker. 1, 2, 3, let's get the fuck out of here. So anyways, this first song, A Torch, abbreviated, is your traditional Mons Veneris stuff, the traditional, that they do, and they've got all these weird vocals, and I swear to God, there's some guy, and I think he's probably a guest vocalist, that just gives the most half-hearted, like, if you listen to it on, like, the first 3 minutes. My favorite part of this song, where it's like they're just fucking shrieking and going hard, and some dude in the corner of the orgy, in the corner of the fucking cut yourself bloodbath orgy, walked by and like looked in and went, and then he fucking rolled out, man. The insanity of shit that this band does is why they're so fucking amazing, because you don't get this with other fucking bands. Mons Veneris, this band, has 0% pretentiousness at all. And there are other bands in this scene that are raw, that are underground, that are fucking improvised. There's always a little air of like, these guys in Vitala don't have it, right? These guys don't give a fuck. They don't think what they're doing is art. They're trying to be as weird and as fucking vile as possible. Now, if you're a fan of these bands, and I'm going to speak your language for 2 seconds, and I know it's a different band, but is it a different band? I'm not trying to blow anybody's spot, but this first track is not retarded necro demental whole level. That's a Vitala thing, I know, but I'm just saying, in terms of the craziness, it's more musical. It's a little bit on the line of, I would say, it goes along with My Dark Perpetual Winter a little bit. Take out the electronic shit of track 2. It also goes along with a little Burn Your Head for Satan. And I know, again, that's Vitala, but, these guys, they hang out together at the same party. If there's a party, you look over at the fucking punch bowl. It's got cum and blood in it. Mons Veneris and Vitala are hanging out. Black Celeste is back in the corner making out with some chicks. And Iria, one of my favorite bands, I have no fucking idea how to pronounce their name at all time. They're the fucking dudes playing the impromptu show. There's a whole dynamic that we've got going on here with this Portuguese scene, and I really wish I could talk about it at length, but nobody gives a shit because everybody's collecting really rare black metal records on Instagram while I'm trying to buy all these for $9 a pop, and I've got plenty. Anyway, let me get back to what I was saying. Track 1 ends. It's great. It's a good sampling of Mons Veneris, but track 2... Track 2 is Entranced with Murky Rats and Dead Bugs. And this is where the cult of the cultist is separated from the motherfuckers right now. I'm telling you right now. You might think that you were called. You might think that you like challenging music. You might think that you like interesting music. You might think that Anthony Fantano understands something about black metal. But you're wrong. Because this is what it's all about, right? If you want fucking challenging music, you want people to be like, oh, you like black metal? Yeah, you cool? How about now? And you're like, oh, I don't know, Mons Veneris. I don't know. I mean, that's pretty okay. And then they're like, how about now? Do you like black metal now? How about if we do this? And there's only one record in this entire Portuguese black metal scene that, to me, is a little bit more on the how about now train. And again, I will call it out the coolest of the cool, retarded necro-demental hole. But this track, Entranced in Dead Rats and Murky Flies, it starts with some clanging and fucking banging. You know, it sounds like somebody's banging a fucking microphone on their dick or something. I don't know what's going on. And then you get a little like, just a little silencer action, a little, and then it starts building, and it starts getting more rhythmic, and then they start fucking shrieking, and there's more shrieking, and before you know it, there's like a choir of mentally handicapped sounding mongoloid voices in unison, which is like, again, a little bit mind-blowing, because you're like, are you looking at one another and kind of being like, we're going up now, are you ready? We're going to go. Or is this just something that they've summoned some, whatever, like, demonic force, has nothing to do with malevolence, but has more to do with utter sheer insanity and madness. And they've summoned it, and it has granted them the blessing of, you guys are going to fucking, for like 12 minutes straight, you guys are going to be as one with your fucking shrieks and your insanity. And it's, to me, just was like, I love to put this on when I'm driving around with people. I'm like, you want to listen to some fucking black metal, motherfuckers? Here we fucking go. And I'll tell you what, you're never going to get a lukewarm reaction with this record if you're trying to, like, if you got your friend and you're trying to figure out, are you sucking off Stormkeep and playing your little diabolic Thirsty from Spectral Wound? That's cool, we can fucking hang out. Or do you want to go in the bathroom and jack me off? And if they listen to this Mons Veneris and they're like, yo, let's listen to more, that's how you know you found somebody there who's a fucking deep down dirty fucking troll that likes this kind of black metal, and you need to keep that person in your life because there's not many of us out here, right? Anyway, you can tell I'm very excited about this. This is a great fucking release. Now, I will say again, it came out on Signal Rex, but it's not out physical yet, so I was kind of torn. Do I promote this now or wait till it comes out physical, because I want to give this band some fucking props. I want to make sure people buy their shit. And then I thought to myself, what would Mons Veneris say? Nothing. They don't want you to contact them. They don't want you to buy their shit. They don't give a flying fuck. Well, except for the shit's on Spotify. But I like to think that Signal Rex was like, look, put your shit on Spotify because Chuck D says you're supposed to. Either way, this is real fucking cool. I can't wait to see how this is released because I think it's about 16 minutes long. So it's either going to be a one-sided LP. Please don't fucking give me a 7-inch Signal Rex. I don't want it. I don't need it. I don't want it. I don't want a 10-inch one-sided LP, screen print on the back. Fucking do it, because the cover for this, if I'm not mistaken, and I'm never mistaken because I am a fucking cult legend, is an homage to Azazel's cover of Night of the Satanakia, I think. If it's not, it was an accident, right? But that's a happy fucking accident. Look at the two together, man. Look, this record is definitely on my top 10. I could just fucking I've said it a million times right now, Signal Rex is killing it. They're the kings. If you want to know what kind of shit me, the guy from Silencer, full name that I was christened with, listens to right now, it's Signal Rex shit. I listen to a lot of stuff, but Signal Rex is where it's at. Thank God they have kept this band alive and, you know, in the fucking, the mix for so long. I think we're talking like 2012. And fucking both Mons, Veneris, and Vitala, mention them together again, the two fucking kings. They crank out so much fucking shit. This band may have 15 records that come out this year. They may do a split. They may do 6 cassettes, box set, DVD. I don't know. Look, keep fucking doing it. There is definitely an argument to be made that some music such as this is just shat out by bands. And I've heard people on the internet say that about Mons Veneris and other bands in this Portuguese black circle. They're just shitting out a bunch of shitty black metal. Some people do that. I have records from bands where I'm listening to it and I'm like, they just shit this out. It ain't no good. These guys, though, have made an art out of putting weird fucking shit out that does not need to be, you know, tracked and retracked and retracked and retracked. That's part of the coolness of this. And another thing that's cool about this, once again, is that this was so fucking far ahead of any sort of trend or curve or anything. These guys have been doing this shit for a really fucking long time. And if you haven't listened to these bands, I want to say don't, because I want to be more cult than you. But I'm your friend, right? So if you haven't done so, go on Discogs, take your fucking $300, sell your copy of fucking Stormkeep and One Lamp of Murmur record. I'm not shitting on those bands, except for Stormkeep. I don't like them very much. Not shitting on those bands, but I will say, sell One Lamp of Murmur record for $300 to some asshole in Poland who's going to turn around and sell it for $600, and get the entire Mons Veneris discography, and you will be so much happier because you will have discovered the pure insanity of the kings of the Portuguese black circle, the ones who have endured, the ones who have never been heralded as anything other than complete other trollish bullshit trash. This is almost the epitome of black metal to me. You know what I mean? This has a lot in common with fucking G.G. Allen in some ways. This has a lot in common with like real antisocial kind of music. And you think that you like darkness and you think that you like madness and insanity. But Mons Veneris is here to say, do you? Do you want more? We can do more. And if you make it through track 1 and 2 of this and come out of it with an enjoyment and you're like, what the fuck did I just listen to? Then you're probably doing it right. If you're scratching your head and questioning the artistic value of this record, you went in with the wrong approach, because there is none. But these guys are artists at making artless art. This band rules. This is the most cult thing anybody has ever made, ever. And I should know, because I'm the fucking guy from Silencer. And that's all I got to say. So